What is a juggalo? I don't know, but I almost knew what one was once because I almost was one once. Now that's a tongue twizzler. So if you're unfamiliar with the term juggalo, it's simply just a fan of the hip hop music group, the Insane Clown Posse. Now you might be asking yourself, Sean, why are you even talking about this? I thought this was a skateboard channel, and it is. And that's why I kind of didn't want to do this video, but then I did want to do this video. But after seeing some videos from Ninja Lifestyles, if you've ever seen his stuff, I noticed he was titling a few of his episodes about juggalos and some comments here and there. And so I was like, well, let me go ahead and put my 2 cents in and touch on the subject. Skateboarding, music, fashion, a lot of these things go hand in hand. You might not have liked any hip hop music until you started watching some of the skate videos from back in the 90s. Or maybe you never listened to punk rock music until you started playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater. All right, let's get into the juggalo culture, skateboard culture, and where they may overlap. Now, I don't believe that ICP, short for Insane Clown Posse, had any direct ties to the skateboarding community. I'm sure a lot of bands have had their names and logos put on the skateboards, and I think about when Zero put out some Misfit boards, and then Pal Peralta did some Metallica boards, and I'm sure the list goes on. But ICP wanted to do their own skateboards as well. As far as I know, they didn't go to any particular brands. They just went to a board manufacturer and asked them if they could, start producing boards with their name and logo on it. And then they proceeded to sell their boards at either their shows or on their online store. Here's an example of some previous boards and some current boards from them. Here's an old picture of me with one of those skateboards.
I've always said, don't give a skateboard to a juggalo.
So that was Steve from Ninja Lifestyles making his juggalo comment. I thought it was kind of funny. That was me painted up before a clown show a long time ago. I decided to do a short clip before that show as well. And then I did do a juggalo skate video. It was always in the back of my mind, but it never came to fruition. It could still be a possible thing if people wanted to send in or donate some footage. Not something I'd really want to spend a lot of time on at the moment.
Ironically, the only other person trying to land tricks was some scooter kid wearing an Insane Clown Posse t-shirt. So that was kind of weird, but you know what? Whoop whoop.
So yeah, that was a little clip that I did before that show. Kind of what led me to think about doing a juggalo video. But like I said, it just never came through. And then another little commentary from Steve over at Ninja Lifestyles making me laugh again. So that's another picture of me painted up again. That was at the second gathering of the Juggalos, which is a multi-day music festival that ICP holds every year. And the reason I was bringing this one up was that year at the music festival, they had a makeshift skate park in the venue. I did take my skateboard with me, and it wasn't a great setup, but what do you expect? I do remember briefly just maybe dropping in on a quarter that they had set up, and that's about all I remember of that skate park there at the gathering. If anybody has any photos or mentions of that, that'd be really cool to see or hear about. But yeah, ICP, they had a little skate park at one of their music festivals. I don't even think Vans Warped Tour anymore has any kind of skating involved with their tours. Again, if I'm wrong on that, just comment below. But I remember when Vans Warped Tour used to have the half pipe that they would tour and have pros. I don't even think they do any of that anymore. One thing that I was looking at for this episode was, are there any skateboard tricks names that are kind of like circus name or clown name? And I couldn't really find anything because I was curious of maybe trying a new trick. I did find a trick called the twisted flip. And a lot of people were arguing about what the trick was actually called. Everybody was saying it was called this or it was called that. So I figured if people were arguing about what the name was even, what the trick was even called, I could probably spell it however I want. So I thought about trying to do a TWIZ-TID flip. Now, my flat ground, my street tricks are horrid at the moment. And this trick would be a varial flip, body varial. Something I would probably call a shove it kickflip body varial. For me to even think that I would have any chance of landing one of these is ridiculous. But just because I can't land it doesn't mean I can't try. And who knows, I might get lucky. All right, I got one more picture to share of me painted up. This would be from the 2003 gathering of the Juggalos at Nelson Ledges in Ohio. So take a look at that, and then we'll head off to the skate park and see if I can do this twisted flip or not. All right, I'm here at the skate park. I'm going to try to do this twisted flip. In order to warm up, I think I'm going to go ahead and start with some pop shove-its, which is actually the first step of this trick, which is a pretty basic trick, but again, it's something that I haven't really been doing a whole lot lately. All right, a couple pop shove-its, so I can still do those. I'm not going to spend a lot of time doing more of those. I don't want to run out of energy. So trying to think what might be my next step as far as getting comfortable where I'm ready to try this twisted flip. Maybe a pop shove body varial. I need to be able to do a kick flip, shove it, or a varial flip. Kind of worried about falling down on this one. Maybe I just need a little Juggalo juice. Might end up putting my helmet on. I don't know. I don't want to slip out and hit my head today. This isn't going very well. Those tricks look like trash. You know you're getting old when you're putting on safety gear just to do some flat ground flip tricks. Ain't gonna lie. What the heck? Well, just as I predicted, there was no way that I was gonna do one of these. I probably need to start working on my flat ground flip tricks a little bit more before I decide to go try to do something like a twisted flip. I feel like that's a little more advanced, but I don't want to leave you guys empty-handed. I think last year I landed one heel flip. Let me see if I can get one of those today. Before I totally give up today, let me just get another sip or two. Let's get one more. I feel like I lost the battle today, but I lived to battle another day. So I'm going to continue to hold my head up high. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe. And much clown love. Whoop whoop.